Thank you, Bob, for this very kind introduction. Merci beaucoup, messieurs, mesdames. Je suis très heureux d'être ici avec vous ce soir. I'm very pleased to be with you tonight, and I want to thank, first of all, my friend Babu for the invitation, and as you know, the Canadian Human Rights Voice. You are a young organization, but a very credible organization and useful one. I want to thank you for the work that you're doing, advocating for human rights here in Canada, around the globe, but also in Sri Lanka. As you know, our country is very lucky to have you as a Canadian citizen and working to promote human rights, the rule of law, democracy, and I want to thank you for that. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the importance of entrepreneurs for our economy. And I'm sure that you are all well aware of the situation in some countries and the public finances in some countries, specifically in US and in Europe. They have a very challenging budget, challenging deficit. These governments have lived beyond their means for many decades. And during the last recession, they got even deeper into debt. And now, after a couple of years of deficit and debt, we see the result. But because of the power to tax, that the government that they have, we think that a country cannot default. But government in those countries have been able to get away with bad management for a very long time. Canada is in a league of its own. Canada is the least indebted country of the G7 and the one that was least affected by the financial crisis. And since July 2009, business people in Canada, entrepreneurs, people like you, created more than 900,000 jobs. And this is, yes, and this is the best performance among the G7 countries. And I want to let you know that our government is committed to eliminate our budget deficit before 2015. We will do it not by increasing your taxes and spending more. We will do it by reviewing our own program at the federal level. We will not cut transfer to provinces or to individual Canadians. We will do it looking to our expenses and find a way to achieve that goal for being able to balance the budget as soon as possible. But one major reason why we need sound finances in the long term is to be able to keep taxes low and to reduce them even further if possible, so that people like you, entrepreneurs, will be able to keep more money in your pocket. You'll be able to keep more money to increase the profitability of your business. And by the way, profitability is a good thing. When a business is profitable, it's because it produces something that consumers want. Profits are the driving force of our free market economy. Profits can be reinvested in wage increases for employees, in equipment to increase productivity, or in the creation of new products. And I'm not afraid to say that businesses entrepreneurs should make as much profit as they can while respecting the law and property rights. Because greater profit goes to the entrepreneurs who serve the public best, who makes a better product or service, or makes one more efficiently than his competitors. For me, the pursuit of profit and serving people are one and the same. This is why market transaction end with both parties saying thank you. Although Canada has one of the best performances of all G7 countries, we must continue to promote entrepreneurship with lower tax, less red tape, and more opportunity to trade, to innovate, and to invest. You will excuse me if I speak about myself for a minute, just to give you an idea why I believe so much in entrepreneurs. The first thing, like Bob just said, that you should know about me is that I'm coming from a riding in Quebec, south of Quebec City, called Beauce. And the Beauce is unique in Quebec. It is well known as the most entrepreneurial region of the province. This is also where I learned the values that go with entrepreneurship: individual freedom, personal responsibility, integrity, and self-reliance. When I'm defending economic freedom and entrepreneurship, I'm defending what to me are les valeurs beauceronnes, the values of my native Beauce. But of course, these are universal values, values that are at the roots of the Western civilization and shared by millions of Canadians in every community right across this country. I grew up, like you, believing that when we are free to create, to innovate, and to reap the benefits of our work, all human beings will tend to exhibit some quality of entrepreneurship. And by embracing these ideals, we will make the world better, first for ourselves, our family, and at the same time, our country. Although we usually think of entrepreneurs as business people developing new products or investing in risky ventures, for me, this is a very narrow definition. Entrepreneurship is an outlook on life. It is the ability to see opportunities in your environment and exploit them to create something new or make something better. Everybody can be an entrepreneur. You can be an entrepreneur in your own field, since there is always something to improve, whatever we do. And industrial workers who finds a faster way to assemble a machine, for me, he is an entrepreneur. A teacher who uses games to keep his students interested in mathematics, he is an entrepreneur. All these people create something of better value for society. They do it not only because they can earn more money. They do it because it makes their life more interesting, because they believe that personally they can make a difference, because it gives meaning to their lives. And we often hear that Canada, our country, is very lucky to be immensely rich in natural resources. But natural resources by themselves cannot bring wealth. Countries like Switzerland, South Korea, Singapore have no natural resources, and yet they have become very rich. Natural resources can only be turned into wealth by entrepreneurs, by people willing to take risks and to invest, by people who find new ways to extract these resources more efficiently and use them creatively, by people able to develop new markets for these products around the globe. And for me, entrepreneurs are in fact the only real natural resource a country needs to have. All the others can be bought from elsewhere. And in Canada, we are very lucky and immensely rich because we have a lot of entrepreneurs like you. And I want to thank you for what you're doing. The innovators, the entrepreneurs, are absolutely essential for economic growth. Unless government step out of the way and allows the entrepreneurs to do these things, none of it will happen. We know this because there are other countries that are also very rich in natural resources but stayed poor. They stayed poor because of a lack of property rights, because of corruption, because of excessive government intervention, and because of excessive regulation. And I know that owning a small business can be a challenge, and it is always a challenge. When you want to start a small business, you may not succeed the first time, and even the second time. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay, and it was Churchill who said, and I want to quote him, "Success is never final. Failure is never fatal. Courage is what counts." It's because you have the courage to take risk and persisting in the face of adversity, trying new things, and yes, occasionally falling, that entrepreneurs can eventually attain success and help transforming this country for the better. An economy becomes more productive when people are free to follow their dreams, when people are free to create, to innovate, to trade, to invest. It has become more productive when people have an incentive to display their entrepreneurial spirit and qualities in the more traditional business sense, but also in the general sense that I just discussed. Entrepreneurs increase productivity, entrepreneurs create wealth, entrepreneurs create jobs, better than any politician or bureaucrat in Ottawa. And that's why that all levels of governments need to nurture entrepreneurs, not punish them with job-killing taxes or burdensome red tape. And for too long in this country, we have had too much government in our pockets and too much government on our back. And our government is changing that. There is no limits to growth and human progress when men and women are free to follow their dreams. And my dreams for Canada is that the 21st century become the centuries of the entrepreneur, a century of unequal freedom and prosperity. And I wanted tonight to share this dream with you, and I sincerely hope, that each one of you in your own field, in your own job, will find ways to help make this dream come true. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.